Hello and welcome to the Pixel Street Podcast, episode 98 for Friday, May 1st? Is that May 1st?
Yeah.
It's May 1st.
My birthday.
John's birthday. What are you guys getting John for his birthday? All right.
I'm John, so I don't know.
No, you're not going to get yourself a gift?
I've already gotten myself a gift, and it's the Elgato green screen. It just hasn't shipped yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say about that.
Oh yeah.
Personally, I feel like I would just throw up a green sheet behind me.
Yeah, I don't have any of those, so the green screen from Elgato looks awesome, and I've only heard really good things about it, so I'm happy to get that. Besides that, I'll probably order myself some Happy Joes. Might go see my daughter for a little bit. She'll stay in the house while I just stay outside in a mask, since she's one of the people really at risk right now. But but I don't know what else I'm gonna do. I don't know. But I was talking last night with our friend Josh, and he brought up stuff about nachos, and it had me looking at nacho cheese machines on Amazon, and I was thinking about ordering one of those soon.
What is a nacho cheese machine?
It's just a nacho cheese dispenser. That's all it is.
Like that you would see at like a movie theater?
Yeah, that or like a gas station. Yeah, something like that. It's all I want.
How much does that cost?
So the ones that you can find at like gas stations are like $400. The cheapest one, the one that I found that I was looking at, was like $280. It kind of looked like a weird iteration on like the McDonald's ketchup dispenser machines, the things that you like push down on the handle to dispense it out.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like it looks similar to that.
All right.
Dude.
Well, this podcast has taken a turn.
I want it.
Well, I guess as always I am joined with the man who may soon have a nacho cheese dispenser in his kitchen, John Hansen.
Oh no, that's going right in my room. Like, I'll just bring all my chips and everything. I'm not letting my roommate touch it.
In case you wake up in the middle of the night and just need like a shot of nacho cheese.
I'm a man that lives and dies by midnight snacks. I would eat those every single night. I'm not even lying.
This is going off on a tangent, but I like the idea of you just having it like on a dresser, and then in that dresser you open the drawer and there's just nachos.
I just
like
put it on
tortilla chips.
I just put it on the nightstand right next to my bed, and when I get a little peckish, I just lean over, press the nozzle, and eat some. Yeah, that's me.
Well, anyway, we are also joined by Connor, not a cop.
I really feel like we should call the police, though. Like, that was a disturbing wet dream look into John's reality.
I mean, he's living that single life.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
In a pandemic world, too, so...
But, like, just because you can do it doesn't mean that it's okay. I'm just saying, like...
Oh, no, that's exactly what it means. If I can do it,
all I can see is a picture of, like, John trying to find a way to fit his head under the nacho cheese machine to just, make direct contact into his mouth whenever he dispenses.
The last time I did it at the gas station, they kicked me out. What do you expect me to do?
Well, there may have been a reason.
They wouldn't have kicked him out, but the reason they kicked him out is because he put his mouth on it.
I took the lid off and dunked my head in it.
Oh, no.
But anyway, believe it or not, this podcast is about video games. Follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street Pod. We're probably going to be doing a giveaway there fairly soon. We're coming up on episode 100, which is pretty exciting. Maybe I'll do a giveaway on the Twitter account. That's where we do those, so be on the lookout there. No idea what it's going to be yet, but it'll be something. I'll do something for sure. You can find the podcast on most podcast platforms on Friday mornings, as well as on our Facebook page by searching for Pixel Street Podcast. This week, we are going to be talking about the new Assassin's Creed that was officially, I guess, announced today. Reggie Fils-Aimé starting a podcast, and some GTA Online stuff. Also, there are Last of Us 2 spoilers online, so avoid those, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Let's get into the new releases. We got anything?
I mean, Gears Tactics came out this week, but we talked about that last week. As for games coming up here soon, Modern Warfare 2's campaign is coming to Xbox this week.
I finally get to play the copy that I bought a month ago. Thanks, Activision.
I mean, you could have waited.
Yeah, you could have waited
A month.
I mean, you're right, but also
it's not their fault you paid for it a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm a simple man. I see Modern Warfare, I click purchase. Okay, it's just the way that things work.
Fair enough.
Modern Warfare 2 is actually my least favorite of all the Modern Warfares. I know I'm in the minority there, but I was never a big fan of that game. Well, okay, I played it a lot because during that time Call of Duty was pretty much all I was playing. But like when I look back on it, Modern Warfare 1 and 3 were definitely the two games that I just absolutely loved.
Yeah, I never played 3. I played 1, and I think I played the most of 2. Just because that's where all my friends were playing. So
I always felt like 3 was pretty lackluster, just in terms of content and story depth, compared to the other two.
Well, I mean, 2 just has that one mission that everybody remembers.
It's got a couple.
In the campaign. I mean, for me as somebody who's played it one time, I still remember very vividly the airport mission.
Yeah, no Russian.
I mean, yeah, but
you can't forget that.
You also can't forget the ice pick mission, where you start out on a cliffside, and you got to run and jump and use the ice climbers to climb up. It's the first time they ever did anything like that. You've also got...
I totally forgot about that.
See?
I don't remember that at all.
You guys are the worst. You also got Rust at the end of it. You actually go to the map Rust at the end of the game. I won't spoil it, or I will. It's right when you kill the bad guy.
It's like 10 years old.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what you have to say about this remaster, though. It might be worth me picking. Is it $20 for the campaign?
Yes. I think it also gives you some stuff inside of Modern Warfare as well. The new Modern Warfare, not the original.
This is getting way too confusing.
You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that comes out Thursday, so it'll be out by the time this podcast airs.
Yep. Also releasing on Thursday, Streets of Rage 4, which is it's the first game in the series in 25 years or so? I don't know when 3 came out. I just remember playing the first Streets of Rage on my Sega Genesis, and I loved that game.
I'm looking it up.
So far this game is getting a lot of very good reviews online. Reviews just broke today. So a lot of people are saying they really enjoy it. But I mean, it's just a classic side-scrolling beat-em-up game, so nothing really revolutionary about it. Just kind of a fun nod to the past. But
so for reference, Streets of Rage 3 came out in 94.
Okay, so yeah, I was close. 26 years.
It's like as old as we are, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this was like a surprise announcement last year, I want to say, and yeah, it's finally coming out. It's definitely a game I'm gonna look at. I don't know if I'll buy it yet. I'm not even sure how much it's gonna be. I would hope it'd be...
It's $24.99.
All right, I was gonna say hopefully it'd be 20. So 24 is I would say that's a decent price for it. But early reviews for it are saying it's good.
It's not my cup of tea in terms of the game style. It looks interesting. I'm watching a video right now. But yeah, it's cool that they would revive a series like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else coming out?
Nope. Absolutely nothing. Unless you want to play Swapperoo.
What is that?
I don't know. I'm looking it up. Okay, Swapperoo for Nintendo Switch. It's a game that's going to be $4.95 at launch. It's going to start on sale. It's originally $7.99. The friendly puzzle game intent on your defeat. The rules are simple. Tap an arrow to move it in the direction it faces. Make a row of 3 tiles of the... Okay, I'm already bored. I'm done talking about this. Let's move on.
All right, we're moving on. to the games we've been playing. John, we played a game together.
Yeah, we streamed Predator Hunting Grounds this last Friday, and it was okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it didn't entirely suck.
No, yeah.
Everything that I was hearing going into it was that the beta was really rough.
Mm-hmm. And there's definitely
but I
still
don't know.
rough parts about it.
Oh, for sure. I just posted a clip on Twitter today. I'm not sure if you saw it.
I did.
I haven't checked Twitter, but yeah, I posted a clip, and you can see, like, I'm on a PS4 Pro, and it gets real choppy at points. And John's on a PS4 Slim, so I can imagine it's even worse than that.
Yeah, the clip you shared was where it was particularly bad, and it was starting to make me nauseous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's, okay, so it's by the same guys that made the Friday the 13th game. It's kind of the same idea. One person plays as the Predator, hunting down 4 people playing as humans. The 4 humans are military people trying to carry out their own mission. They're trying to do that before the Predator can hunt and kill them down. But the missions are very similar every time. We never died to the Predator. I don't think. Did we? Like, we got downed a couple times, but like it seemed, at least at the early parts here in the game's release, it seemed very easy for the humans to win. The Predator seems very difficult to get a hang of and to actually do anything worthwhile in. I want to say we played 8-9 games, and
yeah, something like that.
And every single one of those games except one ended in all of us reaching the helicopter and leaving. And the one time it didn't was we downed him, and he went to self-destruct, which made us win anyway.
Well, and the only other time we didn't get away we did get away, but not the whole squad, is when a dude just forgot to come up. He was too late.
Yeah, he was just like walking around. Because when the helicopter arrives for you to leave, it says you have 30 seconds to jump on or it's leaving you behind. And during that time, it's just like the weak AI enemies coming in they're just human characters, and they're not really tough at any time. So if you just get too focused on taking them out, you'll still survive, but you like won't get credit for exfilling. I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it's just one of those games that I don't see myself playing much alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely be looking out for, like, I saw like the OK Beast people are gonna try and do like I don't know, some private server type things with it, because you can crossplay with PC
on Epic Games, yes.
Yeah, on Epic Games. But apparently they're having issues with that in terms of doing private matches.
Yeah.
So maybe you can squad up and go play online, but maybe not private matches right now. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing a lot of, because I wrote an article about how to access the crossplay stuff, because ever since launch, people have just been having nothing but issues with it. When I tried it, I couldn't get any of my friends list besides PS4 to launch up, so it's there's a lot of issues for them to tinker with, much like how Friday the 13th was when it first launched. There's very long queue times for people. For us, it actually wasn't too bad, as some people were saying. For us, I think it took like 3, 4, 5 minutes to find a match, but some people have been like taking well over 10 minutes, which is just not good when your game has just released and it's a Sony published PS4 exclusive. So who knows what's going on there, but lots of issues.
I don't think I waited more than like 4 minutes to get into a match.
Yeah.
I could definitely see where, I don't know, if it is taking somebody 10 minutes to get into every match, I could see where that would be very frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, the game itself isn't necessarily that good looking. We noted the performance issues and everything. Like, there were multiple times. The map, it's one map, I think, and you just choose which area of it you want to go into to start your mission. If you just stand there and like look at the leaves, you can like see them stuttering as they're moving in the wind. which is not good in a game released in 2020 that's supposed to be like this big project and everything. The cosmetics are cool, I guess. You can like change up your human and your predator however you want. Well, it's got all the stuff for you to unlock. Yeah, I don't know, man. What I played of it seemed cool, but I'm with you. It's not a game that you play with alone, because that's just a game that you want to play with friends. It's kind of like Dead by Daylight, where this is going to be a game much better for those private sessions where it's you and your friends swapping on and off on the killer every game. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been enjoying it. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy more of it once, I see people on Twitter or something playing that I want to join up with. But yeah, as of right now, it's not something I really want to play alone. There are a lot of cosmetics in the game, which are cool, in terms of like gun skins, hats. I think there's like glasses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all cool and everything, and I guess that's kind of the driving force to get you to keep playing the game. But it just doesn't seem like there's enough there for me. Like you said, I'm excited to play this game in a week or two when people are really good at playing the Predator online.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, a match takes maximum, what would you say, like 10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes. And like we were saying, like almost every time ends with you getting away with like barely being injured.
Yeah, with maybe having to shoot at the Predator one time the whole match.
Yeah, and that will just consist of him jumping between trees, getting away, and you just looking for him. Because if he jumps down on the ground and attacks all four of you, well, he has no chance.
Yeah, and honestly, part of it could also be that people have not progressed enough with the Predator to unlock certain perks and skills that, make them able to compete with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely some balancing that they need to fix with the Predator. They also need to add new missions into on the human side, because we were doing the same thing over and over again. It's always go here, investigate this one area, hold down this one area while the AI comes in, leave. It's the same thing over and over again, just changed up very the details are changed up a little bit.
Yeah, and while I agree with that, I feel like that could semi be fixed by making the Predator more challenging to kill.
Yeah, giving him a bigger presence in the game, because as of now, he hides a lot. He might take some shots at you from far away, but unless he like really nails you, he's not going to do much.
Yeah, because it would make those objectives not feel so samey if, you were in a different situation every time.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like John said, right now, Predator just runs around the trees. You see his laser, and you're like, oh, shit, we got to finish this objective in the next, minute here, and then run.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it turns out, I guess, in the weeks to come.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, what have you been playing?
I did something bad.
What'd you do?
I got into something.
You bought a nacho cheese machine on eBay.
And you didn't give it to me, you monster.
I started playing a game that I told myself I was done with multiple times, and I just keep getting back into it, and now I'm back into it again, and I'm incredibly upset about it, and mad at myself for doing so. That game is Destiny 2. I'm playing Destiny 2 again. Back on the grind, back at it, playing some of the new content that they dropped, and just feeling incredibly unsatisfied with that game still. The reason I jumped back on is they just reintroduced Trials of Osiris to the game, which, if you played Destiny 1 or part of Destiny 2 back when they had Trials in it, it's meant to be this high-level pinnacle PvP activity where you are competing to try and get the main objective is to try and get as many wins on a scorecard as you can before taking a loss on the scorecard. You get all the way up to 7 wins. It's considered flawless. And then you go to this special area called the Lighthouse that has all kinds of fantastic rewards, exclusive rewards, extra drops and things that are only accessible via that. I really like the idea of Trials of Osiris, and I played a lot of Trials of Osiris in Destiny 1, and had an absolute blast with it. Sometimes the PvP in those games are really well laid out, and really well thought game modes, and I always felt that Trials in Destiny 1 was that way. Fast forward to Destiny 2, and they gutted it. They made it really bad. They tried making it like this 4v4 activity where the original was 3v3. Just totally pissed a ton of people off, and then they removed it from the game entirely and said they'd bring it back at a later date. Well, fast forward, we're at that later date. Yeah, I don't know that they did enough with it to really save it for me. It is relatively disappointing. Anybody that's familiar with Destiny knows that there's a few different PvP modes available to you at any given time. You've got quick play, competitive, Iron Banner, which is like a rotating PvP that is all power based. So like higher light levels do more damage to lower levels in that, and they wrapped that mechanic into Trials, which it's always kind of been there in the older ones, but it just doesn't make sense, especially in this medium. It doesn't feel good. Add that on top of the newest season they've got going on, Season of the Worthy, and again, it's just incredibly satisfying. It's all bounty fatigue. You're literally just grinding bounties out, and I know that I'm whining and complaining, and it's like, why are you still playing this game? Well, they recently announced that every single week moving forward on their This Week at Bungie, which is like their weekly community check-in, they are going to be describing a part of the game that they plan to overhaul or change, which has me very interested because I think there's a lot of broken parts of that game. And I'm really hoping it kind of starts pushing it towards a better future. So they said over the next couple weeks they're actually planning to reveal what year 3 of Destiny 2 looks like, and everybody's hoping it's something huge, just like whatever the massive one for Destiny 1 was. So yeah, mostly I'm just crossing my fingers, playing some Destiny. I am having a little fun. I'm kind of going back through the raids with some friends, and kind of doing our own thing has been fantastic. But playing the actual game is just incredibly frustrating right now.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if I'll ever go back, aside from, and like every once in a while, some of my buddies want to do one of the raids, and I know I haven't done every single one yet, so the only chance I'd go back is to do some that I have not done.
Yeah, and those activities are kind of the best parts of Destiny right now, and like I said, playing with your friends, doing it with people you know, that's kind of where Destiny shines at the moment. We've been playing a lot of custom games, Crucible, just jumping in and using all kinds of stupid guns against each other. But yeah, the game is in a really weird state right now. It's not enjoyable for a good chunk and majority of it, and it's disappointing. I think there's a lot of cool things about the Destiny universe, and I really hope that this is just a transitional period between the Activision direction and Bungie's direction. Because obviously things take time to set in place, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll check back in once there's some more stuff revealed on what their plans are. But that game has sucked me back in, and man, I'm not too happy about it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks to hear, because I know like when year 2 of Destiny started, it seemed so promising.
Yeah.
Since they went like full independent and everything, and yeah, it just sucks to hear. I haven't really been paying attention to it all that much, to be honest, lately.
Honestly, I think a lot of people have been avoiding it. I wasn't really paying attention to a lot of the seasons that they had. They did. I encourage you as a Destiny player to, or a former Destiny player, I guess. They put out a little discussion article where they kind of touched on some hot button topics about the state of the game and some of the major complaints that have been going on, and they say that they're really looking at them hard. They gave some answers and then alluded to some others, so I'm hoping to do some good stuff with it. I've got 1,200 hours in Destiny 1, which is way too much. It's probably close to what John has in Overwatch. Just kidding, he's got way more. And yeah, I don't know. I hope for it to be a good experience, but like you said, it's just not It's not that enjoyable right now.
Yep. Yeah, I'm interested to see what comes of it, I guess. I feel like what's going to happen is what happens every time, where I get super excited at all the stuff they're announcing, and then it comes out, I play it for a month, and then I fall off, and then I come back, and everybody's like, oh yeah, this sucks.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm super worried about that too. You know, they certainly have a history of hyping something up and then it being lackluster a week into it, so.
All right, John, what else have you been playing?
So when I did my big shopping spree and bought a bunch of games on sale, I grabbed a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, which is a remaster of the first 3 games that originally released on the 3DS, and man, I am hooked into these games right now. I'm only on the first one still, but I'm a few episodes in. They're pretty lengthy, but yeah, it's you play as a lawyer named Phoenix Wright. He works in this court system where every trial only can last at most 3 days. If the case isn't solved by 3 days, whoever is accused of the murder is found guilty and you lose. Let's see. I'm trying to think of how best to describe one of the things without spoiling anything. So yeah, every mission, every story will start out with a murder. At the beginning, it directly shows you who the murderer was, but as you progress more, it makes you use your brain more and figure out what really happened. Every time seems Phoenix's client is they're it always looks like they are the ones who killed the person, even though that turns out to be false. You have to do a lot of investigating, a lot of talking to people. You have to really pay attention to what people are saying. When you cross-examine their testimonies, you have to point out where they're contradicting themselves. You have to press them and try and make them slip up and really reveal what they're lying and everything. It's really a game that takes a lot of brain power and can actually be pretty difficult to find what you're missing. Because it's definitely a game that really keeps you on your toes. So the judge will directly ask you, okay, can you prove to me that what you are saying is true? And if you don't have, you always have the right piece of evidence to do it, but it's always finding which one it is that'll get your point across. I don't know how to explain this. I'm probably doing a bad job, but it's a really cool series that I know people have loved for a long time. This is my first time playing it, and man, I am sucked in at the moment.
Yeah, I'm watching gameplay from it, and it definitely does not look like something I would be into. But it sounds interesting the way you're describing it as being, the 3-day trial thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are your clients in the game? Are they ever guilty?
I've only completed 3 episodes so far, and every time they've been innocent, but it just takes a long time to get to that point where you can definitively say that they are right, this is the real person that killed them and everything. So as of now, they're not ever guilty, but I don't know going forward.
Okay, yeah, I'm just curious. Sounds interesting. Connor, have you ever played these games?
No, I haven't. I've always kind of seen them in my peripheral, and they seem pretty interesting, but I haven't spent any time with them.
Yeah, seems interesting. Seems like a lot of thinking from what I'm watching as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like the judge asked, who is the defendant? And it just came up with 3 names, and you had to remember it.
Yeah, that's the very first one. That's an easy one. That's just him making sure. That's kind of the tutorial of the game, making sure you understand the court system and everything. There's definitely a lot of memorization that you have to hold on to, and you have to link a lot of things together to make sense. But there's also parts where the story just doesn't make sense, and you have to press the witness or whoever it is that's testifying right now and making sure that they're telling the truth, because they're always lying at some point. But it's just a matter of finding the thing in there that will make them mess up.
Yeah, it seems interesting. I'm curious to just have you like spoil the game for me once you beat it. Because
Yeah.
what is the objective of you being
Defense
a lawyer?
attorney?
I guess.
You're just making sure your client is proven innocent.
So there's no like overarching story along all of them.
I think there is, but not like an overarching story, and like it seems like more like a story of like relationships between the characters that are there for every episode. So for like in the second episode, you're introduced to this prosecutor. His name is Edgeworth, and he is like really like head down. He will always get his guilty verdict, like every single time. He does whatever he can to get the guilty plea or guilty verdict, no matter if it's bribing people, setting up fake evidence and everything. And you beat him, and then in the next episode you're up against him again, and he starts helping you out because he can obviously see that the person that he's trying to set up to testify that your defendant is guilty, he sees that they're lying, and afterwards you can kind of tell that him and Phoenix have a history against each other, even though in these games is supposed to be where they first met like professionally. So there's something there. I'm not sure. I have to play more to find out.
Right on. Yeah, I'm interested to see what you have to say about it going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, moving on. I guess only other thing I want to talk about is I've been playing my PSVR a lot in the past like week here. I started doing it during lunch, like the lunch hour. So I've been playing for like an hour every day during lunch just to kind of move during this quarantine. So it's definitely helped a lot. One game that I picked up over the weekend is Creed Rise to Glory, and it's loosely based on the Creed movies, which are related to Rocky, the old Rocky movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically just you're Adonis Creed, which is Apollo Creed's son, and you're just a boxer essentially, and you go through trainings, you fight people, and you can fight people online, which is what I've been doing, and it is fucking exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do like 3-4 matches, and I'm just drenched in sweat. It really grosses my girlfriend out, especially because like she's been eating lunch, and then I'll just come back in the bedroom all sweaty and gross. Like, all right, well I'm gonna go take a shower in a few minutes because I fucking smell. So I've been playing this in combination with Beat Saber. But yeah, in terms of Creed, playing online is just hilarious because the PSVR has a microphone built in. So everybody has one. So when you join online, you're just talking to these people, and you can hear them like panting and like grunting, because like you're literally trying to fight them. But the controls and everything all work really well. Yeah, it has a whole stamina system in terms of like your character. So each character in the game that you could choose to fight as when you're playing online, they have their own stats in terms of like one person might have high power but low stamina. And when you're low on stamina, you can't really punch. Like you kind of have to just cover up because you're like if you throw a punch, you'll see kind of like a blue transparent hand go through your glove. So it's like your glove's not moving forward, only your hand in real life is, because you gotta wait for your stamina. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's a great workout. The other game is Beat Saber. I finally beat the Beat Saber campaign.
I didn't even know there was a campaign.
Neither did I, and I own the game.
It's I think it's mainly just teaches you more or less how to play the game. Yeah, I don't know. It's really sorry, I'm pulling up video of it. But yeah, the campaign, I don't know how many missions there are, but I think it starts you out playing on either easy or normal, and then it just gets harder and harder as you go through like the steps of the campaign. But yeah, I was stuck on one song for, a long time, like essentially since I got the game, because I just couldn't beat it, and I kept trying and trying, and I finally did it the other day. I took a clip of it, and it actually has my mic audio in it, so I'm gonna upload that to Twitter probably later tonight. But yeah, Beat Saber, great workout, a lot of fun. I mainly started playing it because my roommate's been wanting to play it for a while, so I brought my PlayStation out to the living room. And yeah, we've just been loving more and more Beat Saber every night. And they've been checking out some other PSVR games, like the demo disc that came with it. I have Batman VR. They were trying that last night, but yeah, VR is definitely a good way to get out of the house without getting out of the house during this quarantine for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome indeed. Let's move on to the news. I'll take this first one.
All right.
This one comes from Tom Phillips at Eurogamer.net. It says Assassin's Creed Valhalla name and location revealed. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the full name of Ubisoft's Viking set entry in the series. A full world premiere for the game will be revealed tomorrow, Thursday, April 30th at 4 p.m. UK time. I think it's at 9 a.m. Pacific in the US. Today's Assassin's Creed art live stream has revealed Valhalla as a Viking adventure, surprise, surprise, with an interesting pair of locations. The art shows a pair of scenes, Viking longboats against what looks like Norwegian fjord, and Viking raiders attacking what looks like a British medieval castle. The game's main character, meanwhile, is shown in fur-lined armor with a Thor-like beard. A black raven, the animal associated with Viking god Odin, flies behind. The unnamed character wields an axe with the assassin's emblem on its blade. The emblem is itself made up of 2 axes. Exciting stuff. See you tomorrow for the full reveal. That threw me off because the way he spells exciting is exciting. Yeah, this is super exciting, especially considering that I just beat Assassin's Creed Odyssey like a month or two ago, month and a half. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what this full game reveal is tomorrow. In this live stream, it was such a cool way for them to, like, everybody kind of knew what it was already. Like everybody, like all the rumors said that it was going to be Viking themed.
It would have been so much better if they would have just said that at first and then went into this art thing. Because the art thing is cool, and the guy that did it, holy crap, does he have Photoshop skills? Like,
it's nuts. Like, and I started watching it, like, it started right when I started work at 7 a.m. this morning. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of had it on the background. I was like, all right, this dude will be done, like, in an hour or two. But no, it went like all day. It was like 2 o'clock when he finished.
Yeah, it was a good like 6 hours of just him straight working in Photoshop.
I really feel like it was the worst way to hype up a video game that's coming out ever.
Me too.
Don't get me wrong, the art stuff was cool, like seeing the cover and whatnot, that was really interesting, but I agree, like, there needed to be some workshop in terms of how they laid this out, because spending 8 hours waiting for them just to announce a title and then announce that it's being revealed tomorrow was just mind-bogglingly horrible.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. I think that the video of him doing this itself is awesome. I just don't think this should have been the first thing we saw of it.
No, especially when we've known for, 2 years now that this was coming? Like, that it was a Vikings Assassin's Creed game? Like Ubisoft knows, everyone knows. Like, just come out and say, yeah, okay, this is our game. Assassin's Creed, what was it? Vanguard? Something? Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. For the next few hours, you can see how this image was made or whatever. Like, okay, cool. We know it's coming, and anyone that's interested in that can watch this. But, like, man, to have people waiting 6 hours, like, that's absolutely ridiculous for such a small payoff.
Yeah,
I agree. But yeah, tomorrow's trailer, whatever, the reveal, I don't know.
They could have just had really this after the reveal tomorrow.
Like, no, I agree.
Oh, man. The more I think about it, the more mad I get.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see what this reveal is. I hope it's not just like a 30-second, trailer thing. I hope it's a little longer than that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I just find it interesting that they're revealing this before they do their digital event whenever that will be.
I mean, maybe they just announced that at the end of the trailer tomorrow.
That would be nice. Like, okay, for more on Assassin's
hear
Creed,
more, yeah.
Tune in to our digital event on this day at this time. Yeah, that would be cool. I'd be fine with that.
I think that would make sense for them to do, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because everybody's going to be watching that reveal tomorrow.
For sure.
Yeah, cool stuff. I think the cover art, if this is this the cover art for the game, or is this just like some art?
I hope that it's cover art, because that'd be some really awesome cover art.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's like key art,
so yeah.
and they'll probably adapt it for the cover.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on. Somebody want to take this next one?
Yeah, I got it. Reggie Fils-Aimé has launched a gaming podcast. This is by Jordan Alleman from IGN, and I want to give a quick shout out to his tagline in here. His potty is ready. A tier right there. Former president of Nintendo of America, Reggie Fils-Aimé, has launched a gaming podcast alongside journalist Harold Goldberg, with donations helping to bring mentorship and technology to disadvantaged youth in New York City. Talking Games with Reggie and Harold is a 7-episode podcast featuring Reggie and Goldberg, the latter of whom is the founder of the New York Video Game Critics Circle, a non-profit organization that mentors those less fortunate in journalism and game development. You can learn more about what the NYVGCC does over on its website. According to the Washington Post, the first guest on Talking Games will be Jeff Keighley, head honcho of the Game Awards. As for Fils-Aimé's intentions with the podcast, he told the Post, "Our vision is to create a fun, entertaining, informative podcast with its goal to benefit the nonprofit." Did I sound like him there at all?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
But I didn't even know it was you.
All right, awesome. As for his connection to the NYVGCCC, okay.
Yeah, what an acronym.
Yeah. Fils-Aimé grew up in the New York neighborhood of the Bronx, where he's returned following his retirement to mentor local students. As well as the podcast announcement, Fils-Aimé and Goldberg have launched a funding campaign with plans to raise $15,000. If your wallet is ready... Okay, double dipping on that now. Okay. Donations are being gathered via GoFundMe and will help fund the NYVGCC's mentoring work, as well as providing gaming technology and education to homeless youth in New York City. The NYVGCC is also moving its journalism courses online free of charge so they can be accessed by educators and prospecting students. So, yeah, I mean, we all love Reggie. This is just another awesome move by him.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to check it out. Is it already out or no? It just announced?
Let's see. They've got the tweet here for Reggie saying, okay.
Maybe it's not yet. And
fill time while I look. That's not filling time.
Sorry, your mic like cut out there.
Oh.
Yeah, it was super
I'm not sure. But either way, I'm super interested to hear this podcast because Reggie, like, you know,
I mean, he's an industry icon. Well, not only that, you consider getting him in the same room as Jeff Keighley, like, the number of secret meetings those guys have been to, they know there's aliens. They've seen the aliens. Give us the aliens.
They were at Area 51.
That's it.
The government already told us aliens are real, so we don't care about that anymore.
You're right. That's fair.
Oh, we're over it? Onto something else?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they told us. So they're like, oh yeah, these are real. No big deal. Now no one cares. I'm not seeing an announcement for the first episode, like when it's up or anything. It looks like it's just something that they're in the planning stages of at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, skimming over this, I'm seeing a lot of like verbiage that suggests it's still coming in the future. So,
yeah. Regardless, whenever that comes, that is definitely something I am going to listen to.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. Random side note: did you guys see that Gary Whitta is doing a talk show live from Animal Crossing?
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. He's gonna have like musical guests and everything. It's tonight, I believe, but that's just a sidetrack. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Connor, you want to take the next article?
Yeah, sure. I'll take the next one. So this headline is fantastic, and I will read it in just a moment. But the article comes from Fraser Brown at PCGamer.com, and it reads, "Gangs of goofy aliens have invaded GTA Online." Subhead reads, "It's their planet now." There are quite a few nods to aliens in Grand Theft Auto 5, including a UFO on top of Mount Chiliad, and now it looks like they've finally invaded. Gangs of aliens have been terrorizing the good people of Los Santos in GTA Online, causing mischief and beating other players to death with baseball bats. Evidence of these ETs have been popping up online over the last fortnight, proving once and for all that aliens are real and that they're all dicks. Here they are beating up a poor man who is doing a spot of shopping, and then it links to a video and shows exactly what kind of hijinks is happening. And let me tell you, it is fantastic. The video that I saw had like 6 aliens, really just players in alien outfits, drive up on a random unsuspecting player who was just hanging out, all pile out of the van, take their baseball bats out and beat them to death, then jump in and drive off, which I think is honestly probably one of the best ways to pass time during quarantine. I feel unproductive now. People are getting together. They're getting these bodysuits in the game. There's a purple one, there's a green one, and they're just beating people up for not being an alien, which I think is really cool. Purple gang all the way. Don't get the green one. Just shameless plug there. But yeah, it's really cool. I love seeing people get together and do things that aren't necessarily meant to be the focus of a game inside of a game. Kind of creating their own sub-game or sub-meta inside. And this is one of the wackier examples, obviously, but it's a lot of fun and honestly makes me want to jump into GTA and kill some aliens.
Yeah, it's actually funny that this is a thing, because on Saturday, me and my buddy were playing GTA just randomly. Like, we just loaded up the campaign and we're just switching off, like, trying to get into the Air Force Base and steal a jet, stuff like that. But yeah, this sounds hilarious.
Honestly, if I was just hanging out in GTA and had no idea about this, and all of a sudden, like, a van pulls up and, like, 6 aliens jump out, I wouldn't even be upset. Like, I would be laughing so hard that I wouldn't even have noticed I died until minutes later.
Yeah, in like the video that I just watched, they were like hiding behind like a concrete wall, like crouched, like, and this dude walked out of the building and they just jumped him. It's so random.
It's so good. It's genius. I mean, it really is, like, just phenomenal. I feel like this is a game that people are going to find new ways to play for years and years and years to come, even after the next Grand Theft Auto comes, which is never going to happen. Stop asking.
Oh, for sure. And like the thing that's crazy about Grand Theft Auto is it's endless. Like, we were playing this weekend, and it's just crazy how much detail there is in every aspect of that game.
They just put out 6 new missions too for it, so they're still supporting it and still adding content to the game, which is kind of absurd considering how much content is already in the game.
Yeah, definitely crazy. Moving on, John, you want to take the last one?
Yeah, but real quick before we do that, I did some more looking on the podcast with Reggie, and I found the GoFundMe page, and it says that the podcast is scheduled to begin in mid-May, but it does not give a date. Also, if you want a quick update, in 10 hours, their GoFundMe has raised $1,335 so far.
Wow.
So, yeah. Okay, so finishing us off here, Last of Us Part 2 has been majorly leaked to the internet. Everyone knows about this, but I figured we should talk about it anyway. So apparently someone at Naughty Dog who's upset with the management decided to leak all of the hard work him and his team have done, or I guess I should say him or her, leaked all the big plot story points of the game. Everything is out there. If you don't want to be spoiled on this, be careful what you're doing. I'm just completely avoiding comment sections in general right now because I want to go into this blind, but I am seeing people complaining, and people are just being dicks, being oh, I'm glad that it leaked, so now I won't have to buy it, that kind of thing. Man, this game is going to be worth it when it comes out, whether you know about it or not, I think. But yeah, be careful if you don't want to be spoiled on it. I had one friend tell me that he saw people were posting leaks in the Assassin's Creed stream from earlier. So,
wow.
Yeah, just to be safe, avoid comment sections in general right now.
Yeah, I think that's a safe rule to go by. This just sucks.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way to put it. But I guess with that, we'll get into the quick news, because that's kind of a good segue. The Last of Us Part 2 release date has been announced to be June 19th. Isn't that what it was before they indefinitely delayed it?
No,
it was May.
May, yeah.
Oh, it was May?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they pushed it back a few weeks, and the reason they pushed it back, they had said it was pretty much done. It was just for production concerns. So really this falls in line with that. A lot of people, because this announcement came out the same day that the leaks came out, people are saying that this release date was made because of the leaks. I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
This is something that they have to plan for ahead of time. In fact, I think this is more of a thing that whoever leaked it on that day because they knew the announcement was coming.
Yeah, most likely that's the case.
Mm-hmm. Also, besides that, Ghost of Tsushima was actually pushed back from June to July 17th. So you'll have to wait a few more weeks for that one.
Yeah, I'm excited to check that game out too. I don't know if I'm going to get it the day it comes out, but I want to see gameplay of it, of somebody playing it at least.
Yeah,
graphically it looks awesome.
It looks good. It hasn't really caught me interest-wise yet, but also I don't think I've ever played any Sucker Punch games. I just recently started playing Infamous. What's the one on PS4?
Second Son. Yep.
Yeah, I just started that one, so I'm like right at the beginning of that one. But it seems cool so far, and I've only heard good things about them, so definitely excited to give it more of a try.
Connor, any interest in Ghost?
I'm incredibly interested in Ghost of Tsushima. I think it's got a really cool aesthetic to it, and Infamous Second Son, I think, is one of the best underrated gems on the PS4 that not a lot of people got to play. I don't think it's groundbreaking by any means, but for a launch title, it's fantastic, and I was very excited to see what they do next. And Ghost, the more I hear on it, it just seems like they're really going for an all-out immersive experience with this. And if they do it the right way, it could be real interesting.
They've definitely spent enough time on it. It's been, 7 years since Second Son released?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm interested to see more. Moving on. Next tidbit of quick news. Apex Legends job listing points to next-gen release. Connor, what do you think of this?
Yeah, this feels like a no-brainer. I mean, this game was so incredibly successful on this gen. Why not carry it to the next gen, especially with how easy companies are making compatibility for the next gen from the current gen? And I'm just happy to see it continue. You know, Apex is a fantastic game. John wrote a great article about the new hero coming up. Legend coming up. Yeah, it's, good, awesome, fun. Let's play more.
Yeah.
John, what do you think?
Still a fun game. This is not surprising in the least. In fact, I want to say that there was already hints saying that this was coming. But also on the one side, I want to know what kind of improvements are going to be made, because with the backwards compatibility thing, this game would already be playable on Series X and PS5. So there's got to be some kind of performance update coming as well.
Yeah, and who knows what that is, whether it's just maybe up-resing it or some sort of FPS changes. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Moving on, we have the Xbox Games with Gold for, is it May?
Yep.
Technically? For May were announced. You have, V Rally 4 from May 1st to 31st. Inquisitor, or Warhammer Inquisitor.
Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr.
All right, whatever. From May 16th to June 15th. Then for the 360 games, you have Sensible World of Soccer from May 1st to 15th. What is that?
It's
and then you
just a
have
soccer
Overlord from May 16th to 30th. Yeah, but who wants a soccer game?
It's like a top down.
360 days.
It's like a top down arcade soccer game.
All right. Yeah, these games, literally none of them interest me at all. What about you guys?
Speak for yourself, man. Overload was a super awesome game back in the day if you'd like bullshit.
I have no idea what Overlord 2 is, but I slightly want to see what Warhammer is about, because I don't know. I've just heard good things about all of those games, and I don't know. I just want to take a look at it.
Overlord is
regardless
if Pikmin was blended with Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, it's just as wacky as it sounds. I don't know
what to think about that.
Well, regardless, I'll be downloading all of them just because they're free.
Yeah.
Because I do every month. Up next, we have the PSN May Free Games, and those are Farming Simulator 19 and City Skylines.
Yeah, this is just not a great month for the free games on both sides.
I think City Skylines is probably a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's kind of like a SimCity kind of clone thing, and I've heard good things about it. But man, I know Farming Simulator has its fans.
It kills it, man. It kills it.
Just living in Iowa, I don't ever want anything to do with farming.
John is Farming Simulator. He's the farmer.
I've got to work on my farm field for my nacho cheese. I gotta get my nacho cheese, guys.
All right, you heard it here first. Nacho Cheese Farm. For some reason, I'm just picturing like a cryptocurrency farm in somebody's garage.
Yeah.
But instead of graphics cards, it's a bunch of nacho cheese makers.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Moving on, last piece of quick news. Sinatra from the San Francisco Shock is abandoning Overwatch League to pursue Valorant esports.
Yeah, this is actually a huge loss for the Overwatch League because
he's like the most known one, isn't he?
He's the reigning MVP, and his team won the championship last year. And this is the middle of the season, and he just noped. He noped right out of there.
I wonder what that looks like contractually. You know what I mean?
He's definitely losing out on some money from Blizzard or whoever pays the Overwatch League stuff. But you have to imagine that Valorant was offering him a good chunk of change as well. So who knows?
I think you're going to see a lot of these moves going forward. Just high-level esports players from all over getting poached for Valorant. I mean, it already seems to be the hot kid on the block. Obviously the comparison is to Overwatch and Counter-Strike. And Counter-Strike, I've heard matchmaking in that game has been difficult at sometimes. With the amount of people that are just playing Valorant right now. Seems like a lot of people have abandoned the scene, and that's just because the game is fantastic. I mean, if you watch any of the stuff on it, it looks great, it plays great, all the feedback is great, the devs are listening, and it really seems to be the next smash hit.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely going to be a thing that I think we see a lot going forward as esports continue to grow, as we get more and more esports, because this isn't a thing like with I don't know what to say, real live action sports where a guy in the it's happened a few times where people have jump sports and everything, but that's like a 1 out of 10 chance of it even being successful. But a guy in the NBA usually isn't going to jump over to the NFL and have success. There's just a completely different set of skills needed for that kind of jump. Where in this, I mean, their FPSs, yeah, there's going to be mechanics changed and everything, new things to learn. But at the end of the day, these guys are paid to point at heads and click. And that's just something that they can carry to almost any FPS game. So it's going to be an easy transition for them until these companies start making contracts saying that you cannot leave this game for however many years or whatever the duration of the contract is.
Yeah, it's certainly always seemed to be a bit of a wherever the wind blows mentality when it comes to some of these high level esports games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these people.
I mean,
these pro players, they want to be recognized, and so they're gonna chase the biggest game on the market. That's just how it is.
And Valorant being the next big thing, it's not even really a thing yet. It's still in beta.
Yeah, it's still in beta, but once it starts up and the esports get going and everything, you're gonna have Sinatra.
Yeah, they want to be.
They're gonna know, hey,
on the ground floor.
That was the big name from Overwatch. Let's watch him.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to the topic of the show. We tweeted out a few days ago saying that we were going to be recording and asked for topics, and WT Famicom responded. They want to know what Sega CD gems, I guess what Sega CD games we think were gems. I don't know.
Yeah, all he said was Sega CD gems. But before we go into that, probably should give like kind of a background on what the Sega CD was, because it was this.
I never had it, so I don't even know.
I never had it either, but doing all the writing and everything, I actually have learned in the past. Connor, do you know what the Sega CD is?
Yeah, I actually knew somebody that had one, and then my uncle got one towards the end of the life cycle and had a couple games on it. So I've played it. And some of the titles on there, but yeah, it's certainly a rare piece.
All right, so yeah, the Sega CD Jewel it's not really a console itself. It's an accessory to the Sega Genesis that made it a CD player. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now.
Okay.
And my only question is why.
CD-ROMs started exploding back in the day.
The PlayStation 1 made CD-ROMs really wanted in just anything with games. And that's why even Nintendo, with the Nintendo 64, they were going to try and make the N64 DD, the
PlayStation 1?
Nintendo 64 disk drive.
Okay.
But that only came out in Japan and it bombed, so it never made its way over here.
So my question is, were they essentially the same games that were on Genesis, but
no, they are different
just
games.
Ported them with discs?
Nope,
Okay.
These are completely made from the ground up for the CD.
Yeah, there were some like up-resed ports that sometimes had like additional memory allocation or a little bit extra levels or whatever it is, but it was typically new releases.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So first of all, when you mention the Sega CD, you have to mention Sonic CD, because one, Sonic the Hedgehog, and two, Sonic CD is actually one of the better Sonic games. It's an interesting game where it's the traditional 2D running, like normal Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis game, but it had this mechanic in it where you would pass these signs that would send you to the past or future of the current level you're on. So that was kind of cool. It also started introducing in some like 3D elements where if there was like a huge incline that would like run straight up, it would like turn Sonic sideways and you would like see the top of him running up this huge ramp. It's a really good game. They also introduced some new like moves for Sonic in there. Like there was this charge up run where instead of the like charge up spin thing that he does in most of the games, he would just like run in place and his feet would do that like what's the word, treadmill kind of thing where it's like rolling over itself. Oop, as I knock over my mic. So that's definitely like the biggest Sega CD game. Next up, a game that kind of lives on in infamy would be Night Trap. Do you know about this game, Joel?
No idea.
How about you, Connor?
Yes, I do. And I think it's maybe one of the greatest pieces of video game history to ever exist.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at some screen grabs from it, and it's seeming kind of crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so this is an FMV game, a full motion video game, where you are controlling like cameras and traps in this building. So it's a family of vampires, right? Yeah, it's like a family of vampires live in this house. The girl's friends are coming over to hang out for the night, but the like vampire underlings or whatever start attacking them, and you have to like press the button at the right time to spring traps on them so like no one gets devoured or anything. It's amazing. Let's just say that
all of the clips are like
apparently they brought
janky.
it to PS4.
Yes, it was recently in the past couple of years actually remade. It came to PS4 and the Switch, I want to say. I might be wrong on that one, but yeah, they did remake it, and you can play it now, and it is not an easy game to beat by any means, because it takes a lot of memorization, and I don't think there's any checkpoints or anything. It's just get as far into the story as you can, and I want to say it's like a 15-20 minute story, so yeah, it takes a lot of memorization to get through it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I literally don't think I've played a single Sega CD game, unless there's one that was ported.
There's
like
a couple
Connor was
that
saying.
were elsewhere, like NBA Jam was on the Sega CD. I mean, NBA Jam is an all-time classic.
Okay, yeah, that's like what I grew up on playing was NBA.
I remember
Jam.
playing.
yeah, that was just more recognized on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I remember playing Three Ninjas Kick Back, which was a port or not a port, game based on the movie, and it was not that fun. Go figure. Can you imagine? Do you remember, John? You might know these, but do you know the Make My Video games, quote unquote, that were on there? Those were a trip. I never played them, but I got to see them. So, Joel, do you know what they are?
No, I do not.
So, Make My Video was this series of 3 games that was put out that you got a like collection of video clips, and then you had to edit the video clips to create a music video for the band that was associated with the game. So you had In Excess was one of them.
Crisscross was another.
Crisscross was another, and then the undoubtedly best
Marky
one,
Mark?
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. They were all universally panned and called some of the worst things to ever exist, which I think is great. But they will go down in my heart as very fun.
All right, interesting. I'm pulling up a video here of Make My Video. Yeah, this looks like software that you would run on something.
It really is maybe one of the worst ideas ever pitched.
Yeah, it didn't work at all.
Yeah, Jesus, this looks terrible. All right, I guess that sums up, I guess, Sega CD Gems.
Yeah,
even though I didn't even know this was a thing. I mean, it's so intriguing to me. I wish I knew somebody who had one so I could try it, see how it runs.
I want to say
it was rough playing back then.
It was. I want to say there's a decent emulator out there. It might be attached to the Mister project, so it might be a little too complicated to get into. But I know that emulation has been successful with it, so that might be worth checking out.
How much does a Sega CD cost today? Is it one of those things that's super
probably
expensive?
Oh, hold on. I will check.
It's checking right now.
It's been a while. When I worked at Disc Replay, I had one come in, and I don't remember what it was costing. Let's see. Well, the very first thing here that comes with its complete in box is $130, which is
that's a bid though.
That still has 5 days left.
I want to see.
You got to go to the
sold items.
Yeah.
Okay,
sold items.
I've got sold items pulled up here. The most recent one to sell $165. Looks like
okay.
$100.
That's not terrible.
$175. Yeah, they're kind of.
I'm finding one here. Finding one here for $200 with almost $50 shipping, so $250.
That's insane. Yeah, so it's looking like you're gonna pay a pretty penny if you want to try one of these things today.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what the Marky Mark Make My Video is going for.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
This could be a podcast in itself. $40, buy it now.
Wow.
Is that complete?
Yeah, sealed game. Sealed.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yep, $40.
All right, I guess this has been the Pixel Street Podcast, episode 98. Yeah, follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street Pod. Check out our Facebook, Pixel Street Podcast. You can find the podcast Friday mornings at 8 a.m. Central Time on your podcast platform of choice. I'm Joel Campos. You can find me on Twitter at Campos63. I've been streaming a lot at mixer.com/Campos63 and on Twitch at Campos63 as well. I found a service that lets you restream it everywhere, so you can find it on my Twitter, even on YouTube at Almost Random. Yeah, John, where can we find you?
On Twitter, I am at RevXShadows. I post a bunch of my most favorite writings that I do, but if you want to really check out any of my writing, go to gameper.com or Club Penguin Hero, or, well, I was writing for Nintendo Enthusiast, but I left there recently. But yeah, just check me out, see what I'm writing about. I'll probably be writing something about Assassin's Creed this week, so yeah, stay tuned.
And Connor, where are you on them interwebs?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at TheRealBirch. That's Birch like the tree without the I. Also on Mixer under Birch, BRCH. Come hang out. Let's play some stuff. I'm actually messing around with my Stream Deck tonight. Set up some more hotkeys and whatnot. Hoping to get some stuff put together. So I might do some Counter-Strike tonight, maybe. I'm feeling a Counter-Strike night.
Did they fix those bugs or whatever that we were talking about a few weeks ago, John? With Counter-Strike?
They came out and said something about it not being that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's what I've seen is everybody's like, it's not as big of a deal as we thought it was.
Yeah.
All right. With that, we will be right back here next week for episode 99 of the Pixel Street Podcast. John, this is where you say bye.
Hello.
Well, bye.